You are listening to episode 62 of Behind the BS with special guest Navi Elevas. Enjoy. Today's podcast is brought to you by Gamergoo. Gamergoo, dominate the competition. Check out gamergoo.com and don't forget to use promo code MML and save today. What's up, everyone? Mystic Mike here with Behind the BS, Behind the Broadcasting Software, and today's guest is Navi Elevas. I should have asked before.
Close. Very, very close.
Which one did I mess up? The Navi or
the last part? The last part of my username was like a boss battle. Nobody gets on the first try.
Oh, how far off was I?
You were actually a lot closer than most people get.
Oh, perfect. Can I get you to say it for me and see if I can mimic it?
Navi Elevas.
Elevas.
Yes.
Or Navi Elevas. There we go. I'm going to call you Navi.
Everyone else does. That's fine.
Perfect. Well, Navi, what I'll get you to do is tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your streaming, and then we'll jump into the fun stuff from there.
Well, hi guys. I'm Navi Elevas, a variety broadcaster on Mixer. I started there back in 2015 when it was known as Beam, but I don't just do variety broadcasts. I'm also a speedrunner and a former professional yo-yo player that occasionally throws his skills down on stream.
I'm going to tune in for that. We were just talking about that not too long ago, how that was the big thing, like, 10 years ago? Not even 10 years ago, maybe even longer. I think in high school, I remember having one of those trick ones that had the extra grease or whatever it was, and you could do amazing things with it.
Right.
Well, people could. I couldn't.
Well, I started playing with yo-yos when I was 6 years old, and I guess I never really stopped because, like, a couple years after that, with one of my old local, like, skill toy and hobbyist kind of shops, they had a yo-yoing team that they would just go around and do competitions for. Oh, cool. And ever since those days, they kind of evolved and ended up going professional there for a little while with a yo-yo with, like, I'm losing my words already. With a yo-yo manufacturing team that was local to me, which unfortunately is no longer around, but you
gotta do what you gotta do. And
pretty much.
I also seen on your Twitter, I think it was, or it might have been in your Mixer, that you have a world record as well.
Mm-hmm. I currently hold the world record for a speedrun in a free-to-play game called Warframe.
Yep. Really?
And yes, there's a number of different kind of categories for it, but I hold the record for speedrunning the planet Europa.
Okay. And that's just doing each little... I haven't played Warframe in so long, like each little dungeon on the planet?
Each node except for the dark sectors.
Okay, that's kind of cool. How long ago did you do that?
I did that last year, and it is still the world record today.
Oh, wow. That's something to be really proud about.
I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, I take it you play a lot of Warframe then.
I used to, not so much anymore.
Oh. Oh, no, go for it.
Okay. It kind of got to the point where I was playing so much of it that I'm just kind of like, I am so tired of this game. I just need to take a step back and just play other things, explore new avenues.
No, I hear you. So now you're doing it's Crash 3, right?
Yep.
And how are you
Crash
enjoying that?
3. I've been loving it. It's been challenging to say the least. Like this morning was another one of those times where I just wasn't exactly happy with the run, and I was starting to get frustrated and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, take a break, 5 minutes, come back, let's do this thing. Because I had a goal to complete the run in less than an hour.
Yeah. Which you did, right?
And yeah, I nailed it just by the skin of my teeth.
Oh, that close, eh?
I think the time that I ended up getting was 59 minutes, 22 seconds. I don't know why I can't speak today. This is
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, not enough coffee. I should probably go get more.
Or maybe too much coffee. Brain's working faster than the mouth.
Probably, yeah.
Now, are you trying to see if you can break a record for that as well, or are you just kind of doing it for yourself?
As much as I would like to be able to be in contention for a world record right now, it's probably not going to happen for a while because speedrunning is more about repetition, routing, and a whole bunch of other things that go behind it before you could really consider yourself like a quote-unquote top runner for the game. Like with my world record in Warframe, that took me a year before I got it. And that was playing it every single day. No breaks, nonstop, practicing every single day.
Did you stream that every time as well, or is that something you did off stream?
Yes, I streamed it every single time as well. Every attempt that I made at the run was streamed, was live, was eventually cut down to post on YouTube and submit to speedrun.com for verification.
That is awesome. Now, when you're speedrunning like Crash right now, you're not getting every little thing, right? You're just kind of going straight through the bosses and getting as quick as possible, bypassing as many enemies as you can.
Yeah, pretty much. Right now, I'm running the any percent category of Crash Bandicoot 3.
Okay.
And there's two different categories for it. There's any percent, and then there's 108%, which is beating the game completely. Everything. All the collectibles, all the bosses, just everything.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not good at that. So I just stick with any percent and try to beat the game as fast as possible.
Hey, well, you're better than me. I don't think I could beat the game in anywhere near an hour. I don't think I could beat the game in under eight hours, probably, if I'm lucky. So you said you've been streaming on Mixer since it was Beam. Were you streaming before that as well, or on any other?
Before Beam was Twitch. I was there for 3 years, and then before Twitch, I was streaming on a website called livestream.com.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then before livestream.com, I was streaming on a website called Ustream, and I started all the way back February 15th, 2010.
Oh, wow. So now almost 10 years, 9 years now. Gee.
Mm-hmm.
And what has been your favorite thing about streaming that's kind of kept you in the game for 10 years almost?
One of my favorite things is being able to meet new people and form a conversation.
Yeah.
That has always been one of my favorite things about streaming, is being able to meet new people and just talk. There for a while, specifically when I was streaming on live stream, I wasn't streaming gameplay. I've not always been like a gaming streamer.
Okay.
A lot of that was like yo-yoing and talk shows, just talking with various people and getting to know my community and really trying to connect on
personal level, really.
Yeah. Really. That's something that I've always held myself to high regards in, is just being able to connect with my community on a more personal level and being genuine and honest with my community. So
I think that's something a lot of streamers forget about, is the community aspect, and they focus more on the gameplay.
Yeah. It's kind of a wild thing, really, just being in the game for so long and seeing how streaming has kind of developed over the years. Like, when I started, there was a mixed bag. You know, you had people on Justin TV that were doing the IRL streams and stuff like that, like iJustine and Justin specifically. but then you also had, you know, the more modern gaming streamers, and you also had like lifestyle streamers and talk show streamers, and it was kind of like a Wild West.
Yeah.
Where nobody really knew where it was going until like I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, when it just all of a sudden exploded, and you know, everyone has like Twitch and now Mixer and what was previously known as Hitbox, and now it's Smashcast, and
Smashcast, DLive.
DLive now as well, and
I think Warner's coming out with one soon too. What I heard anyway.
Well, Warner is more of like a television, like an actual TV streaming service than anything else, I think, but I'm not 100% sure.
They are, and I know I heard recently on another podcast that they just signed with a big Asian esports streaming service, and the rumor is, at least from this podcast I heard, is that they might start offering streamers a platform on their streaming service, like on like Netflix style kind of thing, but like you would be streaming to it your gameplay and stuff.
Now,
I don't know how much truth is to it, but and they might just stick to strictly esports way, maybe, but that's what the rumor was they heard.
I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more, because that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I heard it. I was like, that could be a big game changer, especially for people in the esports way.
That would be huge. Like, that would really put esports out there a lot more than, like, say, ESPN can do.
Oh, hands down.
For sure.
Now, what advice would you give to people just starting out now in the way the platforms are now? And what would you say the number one reason most people fail to make it in nowadays market?
Oh, man. So this is a question that I get a lot from a lot of people that are just looking at starting to stream. And I'll start by the second question and answer with the first.
Okay.
I think a lot of people fail because they have dreams of grandeur, and they expect to be like an overnight celebrity. Almost like, I'm gonna be the next big streamer, like Dr. Disrespect or Man vs. Game or something like that. But I mean, when you have your mind on the money and, you know, getting partnered or becoming famous or something like that, you end up putting more emphasis on that than creating your show or creating your brand or creating your business. So one thing that I always kind of key into people, and I always answer their question in the form of a question saying, why do you stream? Or why do you want to stream? And those that think that they have the answer to that question, it's a lot harder than you may realize.
Yeah, hands down. Even now, I'm trying to think, how would I answer that? I'm like, even I don't.
A lot of people either can't, or they give a very open-ended answer.
Yeah,
like I stream because I like entertaining, but then the question always falls back on the same question. Why are you an entertainer? Why do you stream?
Yeah.
My answer personally for that question is, I stream because this, for me, is an outlet to share my experiences with the world.
I like that, yeah. And that really that should really be most people's answer, because that's why you should be doing it, not... Because I see a lot of people that cry about the money, and it's like, well, the money's secondary for me anyway. Like, for me, like you said, it's just to put myself out there and to meet new people, and as well, because my son lives 12 hours away from me, so it's another way for me and my son to connect, and he can watch me play, and sometimes he plays with me over like party chat.
That's really awesome and admirable. Like, I won't lie, I was listening to a couple of the previous broadcasts, like over the past couple days, and hearing that and hearing how you got started.
Total accident.
That total accident,
Yeah.
but just think about it. If it wasn't for that accident, would you be doing what you were doing today?
Not at all. I'd probably be in a pretty bad place, I won't lie. Streaming has definitely helped me in more ways than one.
For sure. And it's helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. It really has.
Oh, definitely. I know, and that's something and that's why, like, I push a lot of when I do charities. It has to do a lot with mental health charity streams, and even on my stream alone, I donate 10% to Wounded Warriors of Canada, just because as an ex-military member, they've helped a lot of friends, and I like to kind of give back as much as I can. But you see that a lot in the streaming community. There is a lot of people with some type of anxiety or mental illness or something, and I think it does help a lot, like, to have these platforms where we can kind of put ourselves out there without actually being out there, if that makes sense, like being in the public.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, we are public figures, after all.
Yeah.
You know, being even outside of partnered streamers space.
Yep.
Even if you are not partnered, you are making yourself a public figure. You are making yourself that image that you are now a public figure.
Yep.
And just from a personal kind of space, I'm introverted. I deal with anxiety. I deal with depression. I deal with self-image issues on the daily. And it doesn't help that I am also LGBT and get a lot of flack for it on a daily basis.
Yeah, I bet. Which is really, really sad.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It really does. But I have to put all that aside when it's time to get to work. It's time to get to work.
Yep. It's so true. You got to almost separate the work from the personal life. Not 100%. Like, you still want to share some of your personal life, but you almost want to. I always used to say when I was in the military stayed at military, home stayed at home. I tried to never combine the two to an extent. Like, I mean, obviously there's a little bit that you want to keep your spouse up to date on. Like, if you're going away or something, I don't want to be just like go to work and not come home for 3 weeks or whatever. But for the most part, whatever happened at work stayed at work. I talked about it at work with my work buddies. Whatever happens at home, I stays at home. I talk at home. And you almost have to do that with streaming to an extent where, I mean, I still do share a little bit about my personal life on stream, and I talk about my streaming with my wife, but at the same time, the negative stuff, you have to almost, like, you don't, because you want to have that, you want to portray positive attitude when you're streaming, because no one wants to come watch someone who's sad and mopey. Maybe some people do, but the majority of people want to be entertained and want that, like you were like screaming and pumped up earlier, and I'm feeding off it now. Like, I can feel myself waking up, and that's what I want to watch. That's what I want to see.
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing that I've kind of put out there to my community is I am very, very open.
Yep.
I'm also a very brash individual, very cut and dry, no bull. What you see is what you get. And I'm not the kind of person that likes to hide stuff, if that makes any sense. But in the same token and in the same tone, I don't share everything.
Yeah. And you really can't, because it could come back to haunt you later on, or and not only that, you want to keep some things personal as well.
Oh yeah. I've seen it happen with a number of different broadcasters where they just put everything out in the open, and it bites them so hard.
Yep.
So there's just a line that people need to kind of like draw for themselves how much is too much and how much is just enough.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
you know,
Gotta find that balance.
It's another thing too where you also want to stay healthy with it too. You don't want to push yourself too hard to where you just end up falling apart.
Yeah.
Either. So it's a fine line between, you know, presenting yourself as a streamer, as a broadcaster, and then having you, the human being, behind it all.
Yep. Exactly. Now, back to like, it kind of ties into what you were saying a little bit ago about some of the stuff you get being LGBTQT. I always mess it up.
There's
with streaming and that, like negativity, trolls, it's going to happen. For yourself, what do you do when you're confronted with it? And what advice would you give to others to help them deal with it and kind of get past that hurdle?
So there's a couple things that I've done, and this is met to mixed results, so mileage may vary on this, but get people that you know, that you trust, that already exist within your community as your mod team, and communicate with them firmly, because your mods are your number one line of defense when it comes to dealing with trolls.
Yep.
If you do not have a good mod team that is going to be there to stick by your side, then you will be eaten alive.
Yep.
100%. It's another thing that I've seen a lot of. Like, people will just start giving modship to people that they barely know, that they haven't established any sort of rapport with or any sort of friendship with, and they just get eaten alive because their mods just don't know how to respond.
Yeah, they don't know what they want. They don't know the person good enough to know. You want your mods to be able to, because they're watching you, and you want them to be able to pick up on little cues that you might have. Because there was times when I would stream with my son, and people would come in and they would start like either calling me a petty, or they would like make fun of my son and whatever. And I would let it get to me because, well, it's my son, like it's my family, it's my blood. And it's got to the point now where my mods can just kind of, they can see when someone's pushing the line, and they'll delete it. And I have it so I don't even see it anymore, which is, I think has helped tenfold. I love that feature Mixer brought in with the blurred out deleted and everything, because now I just see it go blur and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And I keep doing my thing, and I don't. And sometimes I go back after and look at it just to see, oh, what was deleted after I'm done streaming. And I'm like, I'm glad that was deleted, because I probably it would have affected me. But it's good to have the mods be able to look at you and say, whisper you, be like, hey, Mike, why don't you go take a coffee break? Just go on, be right back. Say you got to go to the bathroom. And then I know, okay, they can tell it's starting to get to me. Okay, I'll be right back, everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
Yeah. And another thing too that kind of ties in with that is I've started to implement like a code word to my mods.
Ooh.
Being like, hey, something's up. I need you to check on this now.
Yeah. I like that.
So that way it doesn't disrupt the stream. I'm still able to carry on. It's just like one or two words that triggers your mods to know, oh no, something's going down. Let's jump on this.
Yeah. That's a really good idea, because it doesn't disrupt the flow of the stream at all. It just kind of keeps everything going. And if the code word's proper, it can fit it into any conversation, really.
Like you
don't have to say what it is, because
mine is two words, and if I say the particular mod's name, and those two words, whoever it may be, if I see them in chat and they're communicating with me and trying to keep chat going along, and I know they're there, I could just be like, hey, fat man, baba, and
they know right
he's
away.
on it. Yeah. Or even some of the other mods that aren't always there, because, some of them are other partner friends that I've known for quite a while. Or, other people that I've asked to help that I've known for quite a while, if I say their name in those 2 words, it's like, bam, they're on it.
I like that. That's a really smart idea.
Yeah. And another thing, too, how to deal with trolls is take breaks.
Yeah.
If something starts to affect you to the point where people know you're starting to get upset or something like that, just take a break. Take 5 minutes. Go wash your face.
Yep.
For me, I'm a former smoker. I moved on to vaping now. So I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to go satisfy the nicotine addiction. I'll see you in 5.
Yeah.
Just taking aside, get away from it for a little bit. Yeah.
Just enough to clear the mind and refocus, I guess, your energy.
Because let's face it, people will say, get a tough skin. People have said that for years in this industry and also in, show business and acting and stuff like that. Get a thick skin. Yeah. That doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't, because by the end of the day, it's already affected you.
Yep.
We as humans take that emotional charge. Just take a break, get it out of your system, come back to it later when you're not on stream.
Exactly, yeah. And the whole get a thick skin thing doesn't stop the troll. Like, because even if you have a thick skin and you pretend like it doesn't bother you, you're gonna still show physical signs that it's gonna bother you. People will see it in your face, and the troll's gonna see that too. And he's gonna go, "Oh, I'm getting to him. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, I got banned. Cool. I'll just make another account." But if you just straight up, like you said, take a break, ignore it, or not so much ignore, but take a break and walk away. Well, the troll's gonna be like, "Well, I'm not sticking around. I'm gonna move on to the next one." And if everyone did that, eventually the trolls would just get bored.
Mm-hmm. Now, granted, it may perpetuate in another channel.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you want to have that on your head. But, I mean, it's a worst case scenario at that point.
Yeah. I mean, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
We gotta get everyone working together, really.
Pretty much. And it kind of harkens back into, like, the old days of Beam, where everybody knew everybody. It didn't matter if you were partnered or unpartnered. Yeah. If there was word that there was like a particularly nasty troll on the website, everybody would have them banned instantaneously, and it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I see that little bit now. It's not as much as it was then.
Because everything is so confined into the little clicks now.
Yeah.
That word doesn't spread nearly as quick. And to a certain degree, it's a good thing and also a bad thing. It's a good thing that even though it's within that little click, they can all get it taken care of.
Yeah.
And there's those people within those little clicks that kind of spread around everywhere else, and then eventually it goes full circle.
Yeah.
But it's a bad thing too, because previously where it would spread as wildfire and we would all get it taken care of within the blink of an eye.
Now it takes a little more time.
Yeah, and then there's people that find out about it way too late and then end up getting slapped with it, and it's like, oh god, we could have done so much more to prevent this.
Yeah, hands down. That's why, like, in our Discord, we made a channel where anyone who gets banned in my channel, we post their username, what they did, not what they said, but what they did. Like if it was racist, not vulgar, but racist, hate, stuff like that, we'll post it. And then that way anyone in my Discord can go through and go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to get rid of this guy. And that way it kind of helps. But again, it's just within that little click. Unless they spread it on further, it's again, like you said, it's just staying within the click.
Yeah. It works to a certain degree, but there could be, I don't know, this is just like old school me kind of talking. There could be a little bit more communication between the community at large going, hey, this happened. Hey, look out for this person.
Yeah.
Hey, something heinous happened revolving around this person. Get him out of there.
See, that'd be a good suggestion to even bring up to Mixer, to have maybe a channel in the Mixer partner Discord as well.
See,
or even in the community one, I should say, because that way at least everyone has access to that one.
It's really hard to do that because that could be somebody's already existing community member that has brought on rapport.
Yeah.
So by doing so, that could start fires as well. And that's not something that I necessarily want to recommend or put on my conscience today.
That's true. Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah. Easy. We'll move on to basically, what was your biggest inspiration to start streaming? Like what lit the fire under your butt almost 10 years ago?
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a revenge story. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I do kind of mean this in a bad way to the person that started this. If they ever listen to this, you know who you are.
Are they still streaming?
They aren't a streamer.
Oh, okay.
So, almost 10 years ago, I was dumped by an ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
That ended up telling me that I would amount to nothing in my life and I was a waste of time and a waste of space.
Oh.
So, to get back at him, I did the only thing I knew how to do, entertain. And with my previous experience in yo-yo competitions and talent shows and all this other stuff, I took to streaming on Ustream as a Rock Band streamer.
Oh, nice.
A week later, I was pulling around 1,000+ viewers every single day I streamed.
Oh, wow. Playing just Rock Band.
Playing just Rock Band.
That is cool.
Of course, and again, this is during the days of 144p, and the viewport for the videos was definitely a lot smaller than what you see now, and the quality was horrid, but people would watch, and people would come in droves. Now, granted, my chat was incredibly toxic because I didn't understand like having people watching over chat. I wasn't able to do so myself because I was pushing for, world record score runs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And my channel was a Wild West. But fast forward almost 10 years from then today, I've been partnered on Mixer for almost 4 years now. I'm not looking to be the most popular on the website. I'm not going for the most views. I'm not going for the most followers. And my follower number kind of reflects that at this point. But, I'm going for an organic family-like community on the platform that just, pardon my French here, but kicks ass every single day. And I couldn't be more proud of the listeners of 88.6 Navi FM because they're all fantastic and I love them all.
I love that too, that when because I waited till you went offline to follow you today. And I love that when it came up, welcome to the Navi 86.5 FM. I'm like, I love that. That's so cool.
Welcome to 88.6 Navi FM, the sounds of the underground.
I love that so much. I was like, oh man, that is so awesome. What has been the biggest technical issue you've come across after hitting the live button?
Oh God, this is going to be hilariously tragic. So it was April Fool's Day 2014 when I was getting off of work, coming home to my parents' house and getting ready to go live for the day. I go to turn on my tower.
Yeah.
And I smelt burning.
Oh.
And I didn't think anything of it at the time. So my computer boots up just fine. I didn't smell burning anymore. I go to click start streaming.
Yeah.
My GTX 750 Ti caught fire in my case.
Yeah, that's a huge technical issue. That is. Were you able to put it out? Like it wasn't like nothing major, no big structural damage to the house or anything, right?
No structural damage to the case or the house. It was it was like a microfire that happened that quickly went
Oh,
out
okay, yeah, just like the poof up kind of thing.
Because of the air cooling, it just kind of wiped it out as soon as it started.
That's
But
good.
yeah,
Probably put a damper on the rest of the stream. Or lack of.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, no, the worst possible thing could happen.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of guessing that was my computer's way of telling me April Fools.
What are the odds that happens on April Fool's too, of all days?
It was the wildest thing. Like, my computer booted up fine after I smelt like this kind of weird smoke smell, because I attributed it because my parents smoked in the house. I attributed it to that. So I'm like, oh, it's just one of my parents walking back past my room and they just lit up a cigarette.
Yeah. Nope.
So I didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden, when I click start streaming or go live or whatever software program you use, I happen to use OBS, all of a sudden I just see a flare up in the window to my case and go, oh no.
Oh man.
So I quickly just lunged for it, tried to swing open the door, unscrew the thumb screw to it super quick, and then all of a sudden it went out, but it fried the graphics card.
Now, did the stream still go live? Or did it just... Okay, I was going to say, that'd be something if it went live and you were like, all they see is you jumping across. A little bit of a fire.
It went live for all of a second, which this happened when I was still on Twitch. Yeah. It went live for all of a second. It sent out the email notification and everything to everybody. And like almost instantaneously, I broke out my phone, went onto the Twitch app on my phone, and saw like 10 or 15 people, all a part of the stream team that I was a part of, going like, where'd Navi go? Where'd Navi go? What happened to Navi? Isn't he supposed to be live right now? Did his internet go out? No. And I even posted on there, like, my graphics card caught fire. It's completely dead. And my boyfriend at the time, who the year prior paid for the components of my computer at the time, was like, you're kidding me. And then the next day he like dropped, I think it was like $450 at the time for a brand new 970.
Oh, nice.
Which ended up getting to me like a week later. Oh, in time for a charity event.
That was a week of no streaming though, eh?
Yeah, it was
April Fools.
Yeah, it was the most bizarre thing ever.
That's so funny. April Fools of all days for that to happen.
That is a day that the people that were present for it still have not let me live down.
I bet you have to like do that every April Fools now, just to be like, oh, go live and just go offline right away and be like, oh, got fire again.
I don't do April Fools. It's not something that I really do. Oh, okay. And they still don't let me live it down. Like, I'll get messages on Discord now going, hey, how's your GPU? Is your GPU okay?
That is awesome. I love that. That's such a good thing though for the community too, though, because now that's something for all the community to. That's like that inside joke for the community, which is awesome.
I haven't told that story since coming over to Mixer, so everyone that's listening to this now, just be kind. That's all I ask.
We're gonna have to flood your chat next time when you go live next. How's the GPU?
Oh no. I already get enough of the whoa meme for Crash Bandicoot through a sticker up there, so
You have to make a sticker now of your GPU on fire.
There's already an emote on Mixer of something that caught fire. So everybody that's on Mixer that's listening to this right now, the next time you go into somebody's chat, do the colon 127.
127?
Mm-hmm.
I have to write that down.
And there's also another story behind 127 that the entire community does not let me down as soon as I tell this story.
Ooh, let's hear it. I like these stories.
Okay, so the story behind the emote 127, that is actually one of the servers that caught fire back in the days of Beam. The story behind this is one of my good old friends that was previously partnered here, no longer partnered on the platform. Himself, the co-founders of the website, Matt and James, and a whole bunch of his community decided to come raid my channel. This also includes my community manager, Fatman. They decided to raid my channel, and as a test, they were all going to spam the emote fish, which at the time was a major resource hog of the website. Who would imagine that the emote fish would be such a resource hog?
Yeah.
This is also another story of why the emote size is so small. So they all came to my channel and started spamming fish. And not just like one per line, I'm talking about multiple lines per person constantly spammed with a macro.
Oh.
It's because of that one emote that server 127 caught fire and brought the website down for a couple of days. It is because of my channel and that raid that server caught fire and is now an emote.
Everything you touch goes up in flames.
Don't put that curse on me!
I'm just joking. That is so fun. What a good way to test out the server, what it can handle, though.
Yeah, it really was. Like there were a number of things back in the day that were tested out through a number of channels. Like when FTL was first a thing, only a handful of partners and like one or two non-partners were allowed to test it because it was super, super new technology. They were still writing the code for it. They were still kind of putting in the algorithm and stuff. And one of the drawbacks behind it was that there was no game audio.
Oh.
And you couldn't start and stop your own stream. You had to have somebody from staff do it for you.
Really?
Yeah.
So would they just hang out in your channel, or like once you went live?
Yeah, like what we would have to do is we would have to DM a member of staff specifically on the broadcast, like the engineering or broadcast side of staff, to turn on and turn off our stream for the day.
Oh wow.
When testing FTL.
That would have been a pain.
It was, because most of the time when we wanted to start and stop our stream, especially if we were on the nighttime side of things, specifically the late night side of things, staff would already be asleep.
No nighttime streams for FTL people.
Exactly. We all had to go over to RTMP stream.
Oh, that is awesome. What an awesome story, though. So you lit a GPU on fire. Well, you didn't light it on fire. A GPU went up in flames, and a server went up in flames. Do they get you to test anything else now?
I mean, occasionally, I'll be asked to like try out new games and test out the speedrunning functionality for it to see how it works and kind of give my feedback behind it. As far as Mixer is concerned, there's a lot of things that have been implemented that I've suggested back in the day that are finally starting to come into light. So I can't really talk too much on those things because some of those things are
NDA.
Just yeah. But a couple of things I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, that's okay. We'll move on to some non-stream questions now, kind of some fun ones.
Okay.
If you may. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
I'm going to kind of akin this to something a little bit more personal.
Okay.
And that would be the ability to go invisible.
Ooh.
Because there are just times where I just want to get away from everything.
Yeah.
Just go dark, go invisible, just get away from it, be to myself, and just not have to put up with like the drama or the insane work schedule that I put myself under, or like just get away from adulting for a little bit.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, I do suffer from anxiety, depression, a lot of stuff, and a lot of that has to do with like a personal past. So just being able to get away from it and not have eyes on me whatsoever, that would be so nice sometimes.
I hear you. It really would be. That's what I tell my wife the bathroom's for me. When I go to the bathroom, I'm not always using it. That's just my get away for a few minutes.
For me, at least where I'm living right now, it's the porch. Just my own personal bubble. If I'm there, don't bother me.
Yeah.
Just let me have my space. Let me have my flavored nicotine, and we'll be good.
I like that. Next question is, if a genie could grant you 3 wishes right now, what would you wish for and why?
I'll be honest with you. I only really have one wish: to be debt-free.
Yeah. That's a common one.
That's it. Like, a lot of my debt is because of identity theft, and most of the identity theft is because of my own family. So just to be free from that would be a humongous. It would. And I mean, if I had to make 2 other wishes, I would just really wish for, like, I don't know.
It's tough.
Probably wish for a new, like, mixer for my microphone because I don't have one right now.
Oh. And
I don't know. Maybe wish for, like, world peace or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're debt free, which basically you're financially stable, then you could buy a new mic. That kind of erases that one wish. I mean, financial stability basically solves a lot of people's problems, and then the next things are like world peace, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really ask for a whole lot for myself, really, and that comes to like a detriment and honestly kind of a relief because everything that I could possibly want, I already have.
Yeah.
There's just a couple things that I would want as kind of like a, ease of use or like just something fun to have, but it's not necessarily a need.
Or just a want.
And yeah, it would be a nice to have, but
yeah.
Do I need it? Not really. Do I want it? Not really. I mean, yeah, it's cool, but we can save that for another time. Just put it over there, and I might come back for it later, but don't hold your breath.
I'm terrible for that, where I'll just it like, because my wife would be like, well, do you need it? I'm like, well, I don't need it, but I want it. She'd be like, well, how bad is the want over the need? And I'm like, well, pretty high. Because like my mixer I bought, I didn't really need it. I really wanted it. And I did get it, and I'm really happy I have it now. But at the time, it wasn't really a need. Now I couldn't imagine not having it. Like, it's just everything it does for me. I'm like, now it's become a need. But at the time, it was definitely a high want.
Yeah, like you know about the Go XLR mixers that are starting to come out or were pre-orderable there for a while, right?
That's the one I got.
Okay, so you know.
I know.
You know.
It is like, pretty. It's nice.
I've been looking at that thing for months and going, how nice would it be to have one of those?
Oh, the stuff you can do with it.
I just can't afford something like that right now.
Yeah, it's a little pricey.
And it's something that I would like to have somewhere down the line, but at this current moment in time, I don't need it.
Yeah. For me,
and
I pulled in all the birthdays, and I'm like, this will be my birthday present, mom and dad and wife, for the next like 3 years. Like, I won't ask for anything else. This is all I really want right now.
Yeah. Like, there are other things I want to, like, new games to play for the stream, or, maybe get a couple new yo-yos. But outside of that, it's just like, I have everything that I could possibly want. What do I ask for?
Yeah. I feel you. I'm the same. But my wife, like, I just had a birthday last week, and my wife's like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. Dinner's good. And then I ended up paying for dinner anyway. And she's like, well, you paid. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I was like, I don't desire much. Like, like you said, I got everything I need. I got a roof over my head. I got my family. I got my friends. I got clothes to wear. Like, other than that, everything else is just kind of a plus, I guess.
I mean, if you want to get me something, get me socks. And I know that sounds like a stereotypical dude in his 30s, but
I'm the same way.
Get me socks. Get me something with a cool print.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something to get me, just give me something eclectic and cool. Maybe something retro. I don't care. Use your imagination. Shock me, for crying out loud.
I'm the same with the socks though, because I was so happy because we went to visit my son for a week during my birthday. So when we got home, she's like, oh, here's your present I got you. And it was a big bag of socks and underwear. And I'm like, oh, awesome. I was like, so happy. My mom's visiting. She's like, really? Socks and underwear? I'm like, well, yeah, I need these. I'm going to wear them every day. She's like, I guess so. She's like, right? I thought you would want like a new game or something. I was like, no, if I want a new game, I'll buy that myself. I'm not going to. But yeah, socks and underwear, awesome. I never go to the store to buy clothes.
I don't have time to go to the store to buy clothes.
Exactly.
Like, you realize how many times we end up losing socks and underwear to the washer and dryer and just never see them again.
I know. And the dogs, I have 4 dogs. Once they get a hold of them, they're gone.
I'm living with a couple of roommates. One of them is a streamer himself, and our landlord doesn't allow animals in the house. Oh. So I don't have to worry about that, but we do have to go to the laundromat, so I do have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And occasionally I do lose the standards to the washer and dryer. It's just like all of a sudden they're gone, and I could have sworn I had more pairs than I started with.
It's gotta be
ended with.
Especially at a laundromat. Is someone like going in and stealing your socks while you're not looking? Like,
dude, I don't even know. Like, I go there, I end up having 20 pairs of socks because you gotta have socks. And then next thing you know, I end up having I don't
10
know,
pair. You have that?
10 pair, 7 pair.
Yeah.
6.5 pairs. Like, what the? Are the underwear gremlins just coming to steal my stuff? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and why just underwear and socks? Like, I don't know, like take the jeans or something. Like,
I mean, if you could pick the jeans that no longer fit me, and I just don't have time anymore to try to fit into them, that would be great.
Exactly. That's my
Give
thoughts.
me some space.
I love
Why
that.
does it have to be the things that I wear every single day?
exactly. But I don't understand. I could go on for hours about socks, especially because I'm like, I used to have a whole drawer full of socks and underwear, and I went in the other day and I'm like, man, I got like 6 pairs of socks and like I got enough underwear to last me one a day, but I need more than that. And then thankfully my wife went and got more for me, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Oh, like when I was in the military, we got issued underwear. So every year I would get like, I think it was 15 pair of underwear. And I mean, those stockpile after a while. They don't just disappear, but they do. Because I'm down to, I think I have 2 pair of Army issued underwear now. And I'm like,
yeah,
I was in for 10 years getting 15 pair a year. How do I only have 2 pair of underwear? Like, where the heck did they go? I think my wife secretly throws them away personally.
I know how it is with military because my father was in the military, but I don't really like talking about him all too much.
Oh, no worries, we won't go there. I do have one last question because we're reaching up to about an hour here.
Right.
It's kind of a 2-parter.
Okay.
What would you consider to be your deepest fear, and what would you consider to be your most irrational fear?
Oh man, so my most irrational fear is scorpions. Scorpions, yeah. I hate them.
Yeah.
Spiders I'm good with. Snakes I'm good with. Scorpions, get those away from me. They're the devil.
Do you have many scorpions where you live?
Not up here, but they were everywhere where I'm originally from.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
And I hate them. They're freaky. No. And wow. I guess my biggest, like my deepest, darkest fear is I don't know. Like,
a tough one.
There's a lot of things that have happened to me over the years. All of which I don't want to get like too in depth since we're running out of time here, but I guess my darkest fear is death, really. Like,
yeah.
You know, there's still a lot of my life yet to live. There's still a lot of things that I want to experience. There's still a lot of experiences that I have yet to go do. And I don't feel like I have reached that fulfillment yet with my life.
I think that's something a lot of people have. I think if you were to ask anyone, even if they denied it, I think that death is definitely a huge fear of anyone. I don't care who. You could say, "Oh no, not me." But if a doctor told you today that you're going to die tomorrow, I'm pretty sure anyone would be. That fear would set in.
Yeah, like, you know, I've lived, albeit a rough one, a very fortunate life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been through a lot of stuff, and just not all of it's been pretty.
Yeah.
You know, I like to equate my life to being something of like an underdog story.
Yep.
Where you wouldn't necessarily think I would have pulled through all this stuff, but somehow I have. Because I'm like an old mule. I'm too stubborn to quit. But, you know, if one day I were to just up and kick the bucket and I were to be going wherever it is that I'm going and being asked, was your life worth it? I would say no, it wasn't. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I still had so much more that I felt like I could do with my life.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's an awesome. It's so true because I don't think it matters whenever you go, whether you're like 100 years old and you've lived a full life. I don't think you can ever really truly live a full life. I mean, I guess it depends how you measure it. Everyone measures it differently. I mean, some people could be happy with just a mediocre in the shadow kind of life. And
yeah,
some people want more than that. Want to travel, have fun, enjoy life, and make the most of it, because it's really it's the longest thing you're going to do in your entire life, really, is live. So you might as well live to the fullest.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't really realize this until it's too late, when you aren't able to do these things.
Yeah.
Is that when you start hitting to about 30, 40, 50, your body starts to tell you, hey, I can't do these things anymore.
Yep.
So living your life, doing what you want to do and experiencing it while you still can is probably one of the best things that you can do for yourself.
Yep. Hands down.
There's still so much that I want to do. I would love to be able to travel one day. I would love to be able to make streaming into a career, like a full-fledged, full-time career where I'm not pulling my hair out constantly.
Yep.
I would love to be able to, find the man of my dreams. That still hasn't happened yet, and probably never will, but I still keep trying because I'm a hopeless romantic.
Well, they say it comes if you what's the saying? It'll come when you least expect it.
Yeah, for sure. But until that day,
Like I was the same way. I was hopeless romantic. I mean, well, my wife would probably say otherwise now, but I mean, we've been together for going on 6, almost 7 years now. But I know I was the same. I thought, man, I'm never going to find anyone. Go from girl to girl, just not happy. And then, well, we've been together 7 years now, almost, and it just came really late in my 30s. So
yeah, I mean, I was together with my now ex-boyfriend for 7 years until like a month and a half, 2 months ago. So that didn't work out. But, there's plenty of other people in this world.
And everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. So I'm not stressing about it. I'm living my own life the best way I can. And that's all there is to it.
Exactly, yeah. And it gives you time to focus on yourself and more time to travel and do your life, really. But awesome. It was really, really awesome to talk to you, Navi, and I'm so glad you reached out. I had such a pleasure, such a great time, and I'm wide awake now. Like the energy off you has definitely helped me a lot.
Well, I'm so happy you gave me the opportunity to do this. I had a blast today.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone who listened as well. What I'm going to get Navi to do now is plug himself, drop any links you want to share, Mixer, YouTube, Twitter, Insta, anything you want to share at all. And I'll get those links from you as well after, and I'll put them in the description for people as well.
Okay, well, if you want to check out the insanity and the shenanigans of 88.6 Navi FM, you could always follow me on Mixer at mixer.com/Navi_Ilivas. You can also join up my Discord at discord.gg/Navi's Lounge, where you can hang out with myself and the rest of the community there. And alternatively, you can follow me on Twitter to keep up with the shenanigans there at twitter.com/Navi the Squirrel.
The Squirrel. Why I gotta ask you, why Navi the Squirrel?
Because I'm a filthy furry, that's why. Those are my own words. It's okay.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. I love it. Again, thank you very much, Navi. Ilivas. Did I say it right?
I'll take it.
Oh, darn. I was saying it so much in my head at the first, like, Ilivas. I'm like, I'm going to get it at the end. I tried.
Boss battle, man. Boss battle.
It is. I'm terrible with names. I could go on for hours. I mess people's names all the time. Mind you, my name gets messed all the time too, my real name, so I'm used to it as well. But again, thank you very much. It was awesome talking to you. Thank you everyone for listening. Be sure to check out Navi on Mixer, and the links will be in the description. Peace and love. Later, everyone. This concludes another episode of Behind the BS, Behind the Broadcasting Software. Please like and subscribe to be notified when the next episode drops. To find out how you could become a guest on Behind the BS, please email info@behindthebs.net or follow us on Twitter at @behind_BS. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Peace and love.